A couple years ago, I started doing market research on men's technical apparel, specifically with the intent to start my own company somewhere down the road. Once I had a good understanding of the market, how companies were selling their product, designing their product, how they were structuring their different seasons and launching different things. But even getting down as gritty as seeing which companies are doing those super annoying pop-ups, what percentage of sales are companies offering, what's the proportion of men versus women shown on the front page of the website when you show up, and also looking for different themes that companies are adopting, whether it's the mountains, hiking, or some values-based thing, really trying to understand the men's apparel industry. And after all that research, we contracted a firm out of New York City to help us with the execution of some of the ideas that we were having. I had lots of designs and ideas that I had for different clothing and how it would be structured, how it would all work with each other, and the brand itself. But I didn't necessarily understand the clothing industry, how clothing is designed, how it's created, what kind of factories are available here stateside. So these consultants in New York City have been super helpful in guiding us through that process and educating us as well. We've been working with them on the initial designs and getting all the sketches done and sourcing material and talking about the overall planning for the brand. But now it's time to actually fly to New York City to meet with them in person and look at our first prototypes.
You're welcome to board on the left side.
Within just 10 minutes of walking around New York City, I immediately thought that it was just like a procedurally generated open world in a video game. The city just goes on forever. You look down one street and there's tall buildings. You look down another street and there's even more tall buildings. Tall buildings everywhere. And on top of that, you have NPCs just clogging the streets, walking at that slow Skyrim follow me pace. The food was great though. We stopped at a pizza place, then we got sushi, gelato, and then we finished the evening at an Irish pub, although that food wasn't quite as good. And Times Square was a madhouse, even at 10 p.m. on a Monday.
This is 10:15 on a Monday. I can't imagine what this is like on the weekend.
But even with how crazy Times Square was, I enjoyed seeing all the different ads on the screens. But in the morning, the demographics of the entire city changed. Amongst the hustle and bustle of all the people going to work, we even saw some of President Trump's National Guard patrolling the city.
The army people we saw had P-320s. Can you imagine if one of them pistols had just gone off while we were standing here? Would have made the morning a lot more lively. Every single NYPD vehicle we've seen is beat to crap. Not clean, not pristine, beat to crap.
All fun and games aside, we made our way to the location where we'd be meeting with our consultants to begin what is known as a fitting. This is the part of the process where prototypes of designs are sewn up and tested on a dedicated fit model. In this case, we had this nice chap named Adam, and it's his full-time job to stay within half an inch of all of his specified measurements. That's his literal job. Using a fit model like Adam allows us to maintain fit consistency on all of our garments, which are also known as styles. And we were able to see exactly how the clothing fits on a real human being as the person moves, kneels down, and does different things. And since it's Adam's full-time job working with dozens to hundreds of men's apparel brands, he was able to give us all kinds of excellent suggestions for the designs that we've been working on. But before we go further, keep in mind, these are prototypes. Prototypes! They were made in these ghastly colors to make certain details easier to discern and make it easier to call out certain parts of the garments. Once we were done with the fitting, we took a walk over to a company called Buttonology. They do, and you guessed it, buttons. All the buttons. In hindsight, I probably should have asked them if they made buttons made from narwhal ivory. Once we were done learning about buttons, and there's still a lot we could know about buttons, we took a short walk over to the digitizer. Now this part of the process is extremely important. Once our patterns are finished for our different designs, they have to get graded. This is done by someone like Paul, who takes the pattern and using all sorts of math and scans and computery stuff, is able to see just how much the pattern needs to increase and decrease based on the changing size, small, medium, large, XL, XXL, etc.
Some brands want to grade from medium small 2 inches, small extra small 2 inches. Some brands wants to grade medium to large 3 inches and 3 inches. Some brands want to do 2, 2, 3. So if a medium is 38,
Yep.
2 inches is 40, 42, 36, and
Gotcha.
34. So once we establish all those grade rules,
Yep.
then it comes out over here, where we go around each and every point. Once we apply that grade, now you can see the rainbow, and you can see all the sizes graded. If I want to just view one particular size, let's say I want to see the extra large, the white one is the original one, and the baby blue is the extra extra large. Or if I want to reverse that, you see the extra small, I can see the extra small. So this is a nest. The nest is printed to full scale, where we actually put the pattern pieces down on top to make sure that it was digitized or scanned right, grain line, notches, and now the most important thing, to double check the grading, to see if it's all graded proportionally. Where's Sam? What do you call it, Sam?
We're a professional gamer.
Professional game. It's professional Tetris. What they're doing is they're taking all these pieces and interlocking it to maximize your fabric and minimize your waste.
Now, I'm assuming one of the reasons you're not flipping these to go against each other is the direction of the material or pattern.
Yes. So it's very important, all fabrics shape. So this is called a bundle A. All your bundle A's got to be going in the same direction, because if you took a front bundle going one up north and one south, you would have a shading problem. Like, maybe the consumer will see it, but I would, like, professionally, you would see it. I would see it.
Yeah.
Archie.
How about military camouflages that have to run all one direction? You work with those
We
much?
we do the U.S. Army all day long. We're doing the Space Force, the U.S. Army, and the Air Force right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Do we need to take that out of the video?
Oh.
That's fine. It's the government. It's the government. It's our tax dollars. It's fine. And with that, we were done with our first trip to New York City. But there was one thing left to do in the Big Apple, and that was to go down and take the metro. So this will be the first of many trips to New York City. In about a month from now, we have another fitting planned where we will fly back out and do the exact same thing, where we have new versions of all of the product with all of the different changes and tweaks that we gave while we were there and even after. And from that process, we will probably have even more changes. We'll go back a third time, possibly a fourth time, and to really refine the clothing and really make sure it's the highest quality possible. Now, for you guys seeing the first prototypes of our clothing, I'm sure you guys are like, oh, what are we looking at? Like, the belt loops are huge, the colors are weird, and the answer is yes. There were all kinds of things that we are correcting and fixing, and that's how first generation prototypes work. As someone who has designed quite a lot of product over the last 11 years, I'm very used to this concept where the first working prototype, and I say working prototype where you can actually like test it, play with it, put it on, is usually very different and very distant from the final product. So as an example, I have this chest rig placard thing that we've been working on with the defense company. And the first prototypes of it, this wasn't even the first one, are pretty crude and not very great. And then later on, as we get about 12 versions in, 12 revisions in, we have something that is much more substantial, usable, and much more of a final product. And the clothing is no different. The first samples that we get made are going to have all kinds of things that once you see it on a fit model, or once I'm able to even try it on, it's like, yeah, this thing, it doesn't work. Because you can't really see that on a sketch very easily, and with time, we're going to refine that process. But as far as the clothing company goes, just so you guys are aware, please don't get it confused with a tactical clothing brand. It is not my intention to make this clothing company into a tactical brand where there's patches and stuff all over the clothing. The goal is to make high-end, American-made performance technical apparel. There are going to be some items that we make that will get moved over to the defense brand, the different versions in multicams and very compliant stuff. Those will go over to the tactical brand. But all the other designs are going to be for a more mainstream men's brand that's based heavily on values and American manufacturing. If this is something that you are interested in, the men's apparel brand specifically, head over to botkinenterprises.com. There are 2 newsletter signups, one for the defense brand that we're working on, creating products like this, and then one for the clothing brand, or you can just sign up for both. And as we get closer to launch, we'll try to send out some updates, and then you'll be on the newsletter list for some of the product notifications if you're interested in following along. But I will also be doing more videos as we go on with this process. Probably not the next trip to New York, but maybe the 3rd trip when we have more final prototypes to show you guys just how far we're going. And it's been really fun to learn this new industry and how the new product and how clothing product is developed. I'll see you guys next time.